Morning guys, Dave, Northeast Edible. We're in the woods here, kind of my tree line between my property and my neighbors, and I've been working on a little project recently about kind of occupying the space that nature's going to fill up with other plants that I don't necessarily want, with productive plants, with plants that will benefit myself, the environment, wildlife, whatnot. So just an example, we're looking here, right here, Virginia creeper. A lot of people mistake that for poison ivy. It's like a vining type of plant, and it grows all over the understory. So what also grows under the understory is right here, raspberry. And then we also have, if we look all the way down here, we've got multiflora rose, which will also fill that void. We've got some blackberry as well. So the Virginia creeper will go up your trees. If we can look at one right here, it's a black walnut, but you can see that Virginia creeper is basically going up that tree, and eventually it's gonna starve that tree out. That'll be a long time coming, but the tree won't grow as well as it could. So my idea is to basically get rid of as much of the Virginia creeper that I can by putting in other species that'll fill that void. And it's kind of what we do with the layering effect that I was talking about in an earlier video, in that food forest video, where we have different plants that'll occupy certain spaces. So we have an overstory tree that'll fill the canopy. Then we have a large shrub that'll be just smaller than the large tree, or a small tree. Then we have a smaller shrub layer. Then we have a vining shrub layer, or vining layer. Then we have a ground cover, a tuber, and a herbaceous layer. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what is possible, of what you can do in your tree row, in the border, of your property line. If it's filled with trees like a lot of people's are, what you can do. It doesn't have to be just brush and scrub and stuff that you deem as a weed or unusable. So what I did, I put a couple of the understory plants in here with the hope of eventually either pulling out some of this Virginia creeper, or just minimizing it enough to let stuff like the raspberry or the blackberry, or even smaller understory trees that I planted. I've got a couple pawpaws that I planted in here. I've got a couple elderberries right on the edge that I planted in here. So basically just harming the stuff like the Virginia creeper that doesn't really benefit me or nature, and it kind of hurts my other trees around here, and incentivizing the stuff like blackberry and raspberry that I want to grow. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what's possible in these tree rows. And if just for a wildlife perspective, Virginia creeper does have a little berry. It's kind of it's poisonous really for people. Animals sometimes can eat it, but I've rarely seen that. But a blackberry, you're going to bring a lot of songbirds, you're going to bring a lot of wildlife, you're going to bring turkey, deer, whatever it is whatever the wildlife that you have at your house, in your region, you're going to bring that in. So it's beneficial for you, where you can pick the fruit, but you're also going to bring in wildlife. Even if you just like to look at the wildlife, it's something a lot of people like to do. People also like to hunt the wildlife. So if that's your cup of tea, great. It'll enhance that for you. But if you just want to plant that stuff to pick fruit from and have that benefit you or the wildlife in general, a couple tips to help you get along on that way. So Dave, Northeast Edible, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you like videos like this, subscribe to the email list, and take care, guys.